for example, either help in a large-scale touch screening or to identify, for example, the polymers are such that it changes its structure or function depending on the pH and temperature and so on. This is being used as one of possible ways to, for example, control the delivery and whatever it is. That's this area. He's the one who probably comes very close to the kind of diagnostics and other things. Yeah.
Are there any international collaborations happening?
Yeah, we have many. Yeah, for example, when it comes to the pharmaceutical companies, he has many already patents that are licensed to, for example, Hindustan Latex Limited and many other. Like he has many of the devices that are already sort of licensed and undergoing clinical trials and so on. Yeah.
You said you are studying the neuro
consulting group. They were interested in these students. But if you take out the day one companies, 12, 15 companies from day one, other companies are not interested because they feel that these students would take a job, they would work there for 2 months, get some training and then run away to Stanford, MIT or Cambridge somewhere. So they are simply not interested. Very high CPI indicates that you are interested in doing a PhD rather than going for a job.
What's the average offer?
Right now we haven't calculated, and we are trying to de-emphasize this particular metric because it creates a lot of problem. I will give you an example. A father from Haryana, he came to me and he was very angry with me. I had just taken over this job and he said, my son got 7.5 lakhs in Pakka Haryanvi, and very intimidating, like I was very scared. And said in paper they say that IIT students, they get 70 lakhs, 80 lakhs, where is that? So this year, as a matter of policy, we are not at all talking about the pay package. I can only tell you it's better than last year.
But we are
What's the highest and lowest?
Highest, again, computer science company, it's improper to convert directly from dollar to rupee term, but a company named Rocket Fuel, they offered 150,000 US dollar to 3 of students. But again, these students, they had CPI above 9.5, Rocket Fuel was taking a risk. These students themselves are not certain whether they would join Rocket Fuel or they would go for PhD.
Had they done some specific work in that area, the students?
I think so. See, computer science companies, they are quite particular about it.
Ask for average, not the high flash.
Average would be around 8 lakhs. Because some students get very, very high, but in this 5 to 6 range we have huge number of students.
So what percentage are going to the IT business, IT sector?
Right now, since it's not complete,
Well,
last year approximately 25-27% students. Yes. So the IT, consulting, banking, these are the other than computer. If you take out computer science, then these 3 are the most important.
What about the manufacturing?
Very, very few. This year, what happened, there is a Japanese company which came, Mitsubishi Heavy Industry. So that has created a very positive vibe. What happens that the manufacturing sector companies, their pay package salary is on lower side. So for students, I can tell you there is only one important thing, nothing else. They look for only their pay package. 90% of the students, they don't care about anything else other than the pay package. Okay, so but this time some companies, Michelin France is coming, they haven't come yet, and this Mitsubishi came. So their pay package, Mitsubishi's pay package was very, very good. So suddenly I could hear students talking, that it's a good idea to do better in mechanical engineering or metallurgical engineering because they are hiring. Otherwise, all students are geared toward finance, IT or consulting companies.
Do you deregister some of the students who have already gotten maybe 2, 3, 4?
As soon as a student gets a job, he gets deregistered.
Oh,
he cannot
single
take
job.
just one student, one job policy. Very strictly we follow it.
So even if a student doesn't want to take the job?
So he shouldn't apply. We are not forcing anyone to apply. So the process is, the first you registered with the placement office and then you individually apply for these companies.
So that's quite different from older days when there was some kind of options available if you got the first job. So I think we'll
Thank you.
close this discussion and now request Professor Mani Raghav, DRPG.
Be very brief, and I'll just talk about the basic philosophy with which we are approaching this whole development of the institute in the next decade or so. So what is very clear and has been very clear is that while we are one of the better colleges in the country, if we compare ourselves globally, we don't really have much of a standing. And the reason also is very clear for that, which is we have been, until I would say 10 odd years ago, primarily an undergraduate teaching institute, with some amount of research coming out of it, but not substantial. Now that realization and the fact that research is the most important component of in the ranking of an institution, in the reputation of an institution, but we have moved to focus towards research. We are doing reasonably well as of today. I mean, annual R&D funding that we get is of the order of 100 crore these days. But there is still a very long way to go because there are several bottlenecks. One is the number of faculty. I mean, Ganesh just talked about 11 faculty members in biosciences, bioengineering department. That's such a ridiculously small number. They can't do a lot of things. It's just a serious bandwidth limitation. And similar bandwidth limitations exist in many departments. We are at around 350 faculty today, with nearly 6,000 students, which is going to grow up further if we focus on graduate program, as Professor Srivastava said. So there is a very strong need to hire a substantial number of faculty members. That's target number one. Then as we bring in faculty, we need to provide them with the right set of infrastructure and facility, the graduate students. So that component will be target number two. And third would be when they come in, they start working, we want to focus on not just pure research, which is like pen and paper and simulation thing, but also something which can translate into technology in the real world. And again, that will also need its own infrastructure as well as a setup which facilitates this, the connection with the industry, the focus on entrepreneurship for students. That's also very important because these days more and more students are looking to start something on their own, and we would like to facilitate that. So several of these things have taken roots, they are moving forward, but in the next, so our target for year 2020, which is also will be the Diamond Jubilee year for the institute, is to have certainly more than 500, maybe closer to 600 faculty members on campus. Now, we are already in the planning stage of a major research park on campus where large projects with where there is a lot of industry participation, and there is also a lot of entrepreneurship coming out of this entrepreneurship ideas coming out of that will be put under the single roof. And that, I don't know if you have traveled around the campus and seen that area, open area between the airstrip and the aerospace department. So that's the place where it's going to come. And allied with this is the Noida's campus, which is going to help in outreach activities at the Industry Connect, as well as with housing some of the startups that we have and helping them connect with the local, being close to Delhi, it's always a very advantageous to have something there. Then the New York office is another step in the same direction, that 60% of our faculty comes from the US. And in order to ramp up that, faculty hiring from the US, primary source of faculty is US and India. So in both the places we have to focus on faculty hiring, and New York office is going to facilitate that, as well as connecting with the industry in the North America. So we have now also a network of alumni who are in academia all over the world. That's the Kiran network. They have been requested to help us identify the right set of faculty members, which we will proactively approach and try to attract them to campus. We have set up this ICAG, Industrial Collaboration Affiliates Group, which is tasked with the target of enhancing our interaction in industry. They have already had a couple of meetings, one with the industry in India, one with the industry specifically in the Kanpur city. And we want to again ramp up this. So several of these things are going to move in parallel, that as we bring in more faculty, we'll ramp up many of the other activities also. And what we are looking for from alumni is participation in many of these activities, because our alumni have experience, they have connections, they have resources, and a lot of these initiatives will really be very useful, become even much better if we have alumni also helping us out. So that's what we are looking to achieve in the next, so years. Yes.
What do you think this more increased emphasis on research will have an impact on the quality of undergraduate education? Even though an argument can be made, and universities do make argument that more emphasis on research will improve the quality of undergrad education, but it has the other side too, where the quality suffers because the faculty one-to-one interaction reduces.
Actually, we have to accept the fact that we cannot have the kind of interaction that existed in your time, because already the number of students we admit in a batch is 840. The number of faculty is roughly the same. So automatically this one-to-one interaction has gone completely. I mean, there is still exists a bit, but the amount of time faculty would give to a student 30 years ago is no longer possible. So that's a hard reality, and we just have to learn to live with it.
Just curious.
Think about it. DNR 20 crores comes from the industry.
From industry. So 20% is
20%.
In the New York office, what does it comprise of?
So, Noida is still in the planning stage. Right now we are constructing one building there, which will be used to, as a sort of an outreach center in which we'll run short-term courses and programs, workshops, conferences. There will also be some space for people to stay there, small guest house. As we go along, we are planning a mini convention center there. We are also planning a space to house startups there. We have space to house as of today on campus, we have a space for about 20 startups. And they're all, it's completely taken up. There are many startups who want space, but we are not able to provide that. With Noida thing coming up, we'll provide space, create space for them there, which may also act as like a startup may have this development or technology development center here, and maybe a sales and marketing thing in the Noida. So that kind of synergy can also happen.
So there's no proposal to have research labs or full courses being offered in Noida?
No, because that becomes a physically challenging task, because if faculty member is here and the weekdays are occupied here, then we may consider, I mean, if it works out, running weekend courses there. So they have to be specifically tailored.
Course for whom? Course for whom?
Course for whom? Yeah, so the possibility is still not been fully explored, but it could be, I mean, now I'm really throwing up ideas which we don't know whether it will work out or not. For example, an executive MBA program, which is just done over the weekends. Maybe some specifically targeted technology discussion. are the things that may be possible.
When is it likely to be operational?
So the first building will be functional in March 2014.
March 2013? 14.
Yeah, so about a year from now.
What is the root cause of faculty drain?
Well, there is no drain, there is no gain,
No.
that's the problem.
Why there is no gain?
Why there is the
Salaries?
salaries is one component, yes, definitely. The other is Kanpur city is one. I mean, Anil is been so passionately talking about improving Kanpur city, and that is something we really realize. Unless we help in improving the city of Kanpur, we will always be at a disadvantage compared to the metro city. So that is something which we really need to focus on. Then the third would be the appropriate research infrastructure which we can offer to the faculty. If we can offer excellent research infrastructure, then that will go a long way in attracting. So we are working on all these fronts. Research infrastructure, I already mentioned about research part. The salary we are addressing in a slightly interesting way. What we do is any new faculty who joins, we offer him or her 9 lakh rupees additional over and above the usual salary.
It's like a signing bonus.
It's like a signing bonus spread over 3 years. And that resource we are generating from our own government. We can't expect that money from the government. So the institute has decided that we'll raise our own resources for it.
Is there any restriction from the government?
The teaching load is not very high. I think on average, faculty member teaches 3 courses in a year. In a year. Recruitment through that, reaching out to the university in North America. We are targeting fundraising through that, because that's not something we are not very good at, raising funds. So we were planning to use that office and explore how to improve that aspect. We are also planning to reach out to the industry, which I mentioned, to set up, increase the collaboration with industry. And finally, we are also going to use that to help our startups reach out to potential investors based in New York area, at least, where they can explore possibility of funding.
Has that already started or?
The New York office is starting this month, yes.
How many people will be there in the office?
Right now, we start with just one person, and we'll see as operations expand, we'll see.
Is there a particular reason why New York was chosen and not the Silicon Valley?
Yes. Again, out of the faculty we recruit from US, about 70% of that comes from East Coast. And New York was the best choice of place. In addition, one of our alumnus offers free office space in New York, next to Wall Street. So there's really
It is downtown.
Wall Street, yeah.
Are all the courses taught by 4-year courses, like first or second year courses?
No, we have faculty is always just in May take a few classes. Right?
Only tutorials and
Only
lectures.
tutorials.
No lectures.
They may take a few lectures, special lectures.
I mean, 1 or 2 lectures, sometimes some PhD student is really good, we may.
As good a job as any faculty could have done. So that could alleviate the pressure that you have of hiring qualified faculty members. So let them teach second, third, fourth and graduate level classes, but first year courses can very easily be taught by grad students or lecturers. It can be done.
Yes, it's fine. One, we need very good graduate students for that. You are a very good graduate student, therefore you could handle that first year class. The quality of graduate students we get as of today is a mixed bag. It's not uniformly very good. So we have to really identify the ones who are really good and for enhancing our research groups.
Right.
Not as much for teaching.
But why load them with teaching 4-year courses? Because
Yeah,
the
I
time
think it's
taken up
not
from
much
the
of a
hiring
load.
stuff.
I mean, there are very few first year courses, five,
I
6
think the model that we have, and I'm sure you've gone through the same model, that you have very large classes with tutorials.
I don't think even in US you would have a graduate student taking a class of 800 students. Typically, a graduate student will take a class of 30 students, 40 students, 50 students, not 800 students. Right? So that's, you know, and I think we are, I mean, Manin has just become Dean of Faculty Affairs, and I think we now are going to have a much stronger focus on adjunct faculty and visiting faculty and so on, which wasn't there earlier. So we do hope that some of the classes will be taught by people outside. But again, the city of Kanpur does not quite offer a wide variety of, you know, talent of the kind that we would like to put in front of students.
But you have a single.
50, the largest class is 550.
That's very common everywhere nowadays.
Yeah, we admit 840 students in an undergraduate batch. So in principle,
So in a couple of classes, what we do is that, you know, the same lecture is done twice. You know, one in a 550 classroom, another in a 350 classroom. So the same lecture was morning here, afternoon there.
No, 2 different times. Oh, they're not video linked or something to us?
No, they are video linked, but we would prefer the faculty member to be present right in front of the student. One course, and one more course is being offered not right now, which is available to outside world.
And what were the results?
I'm not sure about the numbers. I think the course that was there on, I think, software architecture, you know, what was the course? I think it had like 1,000 odd people from outside, and not one of those 1 lakh people that you find in Coursera. And the second course is being taught by Vayan Singh of electrical. So he has advertised it primarily in other educational institutions. I haven't seen, you know, too many advertisements elsewhere. So it is really targeting faculty of other colleges in the country who can take this course online. So again, I'm sure that the numbers will be much smaller. You know, maybe outside people are just 500 or 1,000 or something like that.
So is that you're going to promote more online classes in the future? Or?
Absolutely. We are looking at this model of flipped classroom and online courses and so on. And certainly we do believe that this is the future of higher education. Both in terms of we offering our courses for others, as well as being a consumer of courses of other universities, which are, you know, if there is a great course somewhere else, we absolutely have no problems in accepting that. In the sense, right now, the Senate hasn't gone through and looked at this whole thing, but the mood in the campus is that yes, it is okay to be consumer of a course of somebody else.
I'd like to add 2 things which have been missed out. One is that, see, the Institute philosophy had been, and till very recently it was, that all instruction should be faculty members' responsibility. And now we have moved towards involving graduate students in full faculty role in certain tutorial classes where you have groups of about 35, 40 students. Classes like TA 101, which is the drawing class, Mechanics of Solids, which is that ESC 204, whatever that class was. So core courses, instruction is still the faculty members, but we are opening up student tutors who actually do all the work that a faculty member does. There are faculty members who are tutors, there are student tutors. So we have, out of a group of about say 15, 20 tutors in a class, maybe there will be about 6, 7 student tutors. So that is one thing. And the second thing is the emphasis on the NPTEL program. I mean, that's another, NPTEL is the National Program on Technology Enabled Learning. And IIT Kanpur is a major participant in that. The other IITs and ISC are the other participants. It's a government initiative where we are putting together how many courses? About 1,000 courses. More than 1,000 courses in all kinds of areas, which is going to be available on online. So that process is going on, and that project has been around for about 3-4 years, and I think now it's already a lot of courses. The phase 1 is over, so I think about 300-400 courses will already be online in different areas.
And there is academic affairs. I thought I'll give you a few things that are different today than what it was when you were the students. First of all, as Manindra has already said, the number of students that we admit in our undergraduate programs is about 840, which is probably 4 times the size of your batch. The PG education is also being focused quite a lot more than what it used to be earlier. The number of PhD students as of today on campus would be about 1,100. I think when we were students about 30 years ago, the number of PhD students was only about 400 or 300 or something. So it's become almost 3-4 times there also. There are several new programs that we have started. You have already heard from faculty of BSBE. We also started MBA program. There is a program in economics. There is a program in design. The program in laser technology program. It used to be an MTech program. Now it has a PhD program. Pretty much all interdisciplinary programs started as MTech programs. Now have PhD programs as well. So there are several new things that we are doing. We recently means about a couple of years ago, we did a review of all our undergraduate programs. We do that review about once in 10 years. So in the latest review, what we have decided is all the programs are going to be 4 years. Earlier it used to be, well in your time it was all programs were 5 years, but after that it became 4-year BTech but 5-year science programs, the MSc integrated. Now even the science programs have become 4-year programs. Of course the student has a lot more flexibility today. It can do, other than this core area of BTech or Bachelor of Science, it can do a minor in some other discipline. It can do a dual major, just like most of the US universities. It can also do a BTech and MTech within a 5-year period, or a BSc and MSc in a 5-year period. It can even do a BTech in engineering and MSc in science, or BS in science and MTech in some engineering discipline. So all that flexibility has been introduced from 2011 batch onwards, which is the last batch, the 2 batches that we have admitted. They will go through this new curriculum and so on. Okay. We have, in order to reduce the stress on the students, which was one of the things that a lot of faculty members felt, we have reduced the graduating CPI. It used to be 5.0 in your time, and it has continued till recently. Now it has become 4.0. So anybody just getting D grades in all the courses would get a degree from this institute, which is, there have been a huge amount of debate on the campus, whether it's a good thing or bad thing. I think we'll start seeing the results of this policy 2 years from now when the companies come, and whether these guys who are going to be between 4 and 6. We already seeing actually a serious problem with students who are less than 6.0 in terms of placement. I mean, they eventually end up doing well is a different matter, but here when they're, so I think we've just shifted the stress from academics to placement. That's all we have done by making this 4.0, but that's the way Institute has decided. It is purely a credit-based system, in the sense that we tell you what is the requirements for the particular program. So if you want to do BTech in aerospace engineering, these are the kind of credits, so many compulsory credits, so many, your physics, maths, basic science, open elective, HSS elective, and so on and so forth, and you just keep doing those electives. Earlier it used to be in this semester you must do these courses, in this semester you must do these courses. So right now it's completely up to the student in which order, as long as you satisfy the prerequisites and the timetable clashes are taken care of, you can do courses in whichever order you want. So that again has given a lot more flexibility to students in carrying out their activities. Okay. As of July 2012, we had 5,700 students. We give a transcript, assuming that the university where he is registered will give credit transfer to the student. Anybody is really welcome to come here. The reason for this is primarily to get at least a few foreign students out here. We do have a few full-time foreign students in the PhD program, but that number is too small to make any impact in terms of the cultural immersion. Our students should be exposed to different cultures. So this is the way we are trying to see whether we can get more foreign students on campus. We get about, right now, only 10 to 15 foreign students on campus in this one semester non-degree students. But hopefully, we will keep increasing this number.
Mostly from which countries?
Mostly from Europe. Pretty much nobody from US. I think what we see is Europeans are more into hardship they can face more easily. I think they love, I don't think somebody who has spent time in US can stay in our hostel. So that's the problem.
Universities like Delhi have programs with many American.
That's right. So they have international hostel. I think the international hostel is one big bottleneck that we have in terms of attracting international students. And the hostel 12 that we are talking about, which will be a 1,000-student hostel, will have a wing which will be, air-conditioned, attached bath, and so on and so forth. So there is a plan for taking care of that.
And you had a search program in summer where you were getting students from outside.
4 or 5 students in the summer, right?
Also, you used to get some students international students from
maybe
relaxing this JEE thing for some of the foreign students, maybe just to have that cultural diversity that we are talking about.
That's it.
Maybe 20 students or something like that do not have this. Is that something which can be thought about maybe?
Yeah, so started only about 3 years ago. Before that, we did have admission based on SAT, and we almost never got anybody through that also, because almost anybody who applied, and we did give admission every year to 2-3 students in every IIT, and every IIT kind of felt that these students were performing extremely poorly. And again, we didn't see. You have to understand. I mean, I have also studied in US. I think undergraduate education in US, even in a 30th, 40th ranked university, is a better education than the education that we provide. Okay. I mean, I would any day, so there is this question that we often ask. If somebody were to come to Mars, from Mars, and I am a graduate of University of Maryland, should he do undergraduate education in University of Maryland, which is not known for its undergraduate program? Or should he do undergraduate program at IIT Kanpur? I will suggest University of Maryland.
Why?
Okay? Because the kind of exposure that you get there is so much different than the kind of exposure. So the idea of IIT Kanpur education, unfortunately today at least, 30 years ago things may have been different, but today it has really become, I want to be a member of alumni association. That's the advantage that we provide. Right? We are the best in the country, but unfortunately a lot of things have gone wrong in terms of faculty. When we were students, the faculty-student ratio was 1:6. Today is 1:16. So that personal attention that we had, right? So if you are going to have 1:16, then what's wrong with the US university? So when we had all these years, more than 10 years, we had this thing about SAT-based admission. Not one of our alumni applied, his son or daughter would apply for admission to IIT Kanpur, right? So even alumni understand that what the difference is. I mean, nobody. We have several thousand alumni in US. None of them ever applied for admission to IIT Kanpur.
I had a question which is very relevant to what you just said.
Yeah.
I think as you look at the composition of the undergraduate body today, you get, my impression is you get kids who are masters at taking tests. They're superb and they've been trained for 2 years at these coaching institutes in Kota to take tests. And that's all they know when they show up here. One of the things that I find perhaps is missing in the undergraduate program, and this may seem very odd that I'm saying this, but I have a son who's a freshman in the US right now, and I've experienced this. What are the IITs doing to attract the kind of students that it would be proud of to have as graduates besides being master test takers?
Yeah.
Let me just add one thing.
Sure.
My son did reasonably well in high school, so we went to the top universities, and every one of them had a vigorous marketing program. Probably the best of all was Harvard. Even though they have all this status, when we walked in the door, they really wanted every student to aspire to admission. And they were not, they marketed their alumni, not just their programs. Even Bill Gates was in the picture. He didn't graduate from Harvard, but look how well he has done just because he showed up here. We don't, there doesn't seem to be any connectivity between the accomplishments of the alumni, the accomplishments of faculty, and all of that to the undergraduate program. So people are coming because they go to Kota, they sign up, and they show up here.
So I think what we are happy with is that we are the best in the country, right? And I would say that even though we are not getting too many of these top 100 people, we still are, very competitive with IIT Bombay in terms of our programs. I mean, people who actually join us, they're very happy with us. Okay. And as an institute, somehow we have become very satisfied that we are close to number one. I mean, some people will call it number one, some people will call it number two, doesn't matter, right? So we are indeed the best in the country, and that's satisfactory to us, and to a fairly large number of people on various IITs. And that's where the problem is. That's what I said, that, so within India, if you want to study, IIT Kanpur is the place. I mean, I will advise anybody at all in India that you must come to IIT Kanpur for undergraduate, don't go to IIT Bombay, don't go to IIT Delhi. And I can tell you large number of positives that this institute has, right? However, when we compare with external institutions, which unfortunately most of us cannot afford, and therefore, it's okay for me to, even as a dean, to say foreign universities are better. I mean, I saw the difference in the way courses are taught in University of Maryland, even, 86 when I joined there.
If that realization is there, is some debate or some talk is there about it? I mean, this is kind of complacency setting in.
You're absolutely right, but so there is a small set of people even in this institute, and likewise in all institutes, all IITs, you will find a small set of people who will say, no, we need to compete with the world, right? But unfortunately, that number is small. Most of the people will be happy being number one in the country.
With possibly not a great sense of hope about how effectively and how quickly they can be resolved. Has there been an effort or a thought to comprehensively do, let's say, a complete comprehensive audit of the vision of IIT Kanpur? Probably, because things have changed a lot, that is very true. What do we really want to be at this stage?
Again, what we have seen is, if we can get more faculty, I think that is one single thing that will really bring us back to the old glory. Okay. That's what we are really focused on right now.
Yeah, from the faculty angle, one way of looking at the problem is team presentations. Can you think about that? Thereby the students will become closer and they try to understand.
So actually, it is, I think, because of the necessity in terms of each faculty having to grade a lot more. Today, many faculty members would rather assign projects in teams, right? If I had 30 students, I could assign an individual assignment, or even if the same assignment, I can grade 30 different assignments. But if I have 100 people in my class, I'll rather say teamwork is more important anyway, even if it is not. So I'll say make groups of 4 people each, and I'll give them larger projects today than a smaller assignment that I used to do earlier, and say this is teamwork, and then have a small 5-minute interview to figure out that all 4 of them have indeed contributed to this. That is becoming more as a, it is good that it is actually also helping learning.
Yeah.
But also it has come out as a necessity. We can't do anything else.
The togetherness also.
Yes.
So the whole program is now
in a small group of 4 people. So I think we are able to manage some of those things. But again, I'll come back to faculty being really a crux of the problem.
I think maybe a paradigm shift in thinking, being the best in the country is good enough. From that to how do we become better than what we are? So I think
about Times Education, whatever the ranking is, or you go for for QS ranking or some other ranking. All those rankings will talk about research output. Okay. Should we now, if we want to be competitive in the world, do we compete in undergraduate education or do we compete in research? Right? And clearly, I think the majority today is we want to be in QS ranking, we want to be in Times Higher Education ranking, we want to be in that ranking. It means research. And therefore, we must focus on how do we improve our MTech admission, and we're doing a lot in that. I think, as I said, PhD admissions have now become 1,100 PhD students we have. Right? We are graduating 110, 120 PhD students every year today, which used to be 50. Right? So there is our research output. I mean, I wish Ajit Chaturvedi, the Dean R&D, was here, but I know the number of papers that are being published have increased 20% every year for the last 7-8 years continuously. Right? So there are a lot of things in research. I mean, the number of numbers he gave, 100 crores per year budget, which just 5 years ago was 40 crores. Right? So in research there is a huge focus, and that is showing a lot of results. Okay? But it is affecting undergraduate education because the faculty size has remained the same.
A very contentious kind of issue. See, these are things which require a lot of discussion, and I'm not sure whether we'll be able to ever converge. Except that yes, there will be probably some ideas that will emerge. So that cannot happen in 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
just one alumni, if that is possible, because right now it looks like it is the academic senate which is doing it. Maybe some input from alumni from different backgrounds. Sure. Something to think about.
Sure. Thank you. Before we close, in fact, there was a lot of interest and some kind of curiosity as to what goes on in the design program, and we have 5-10 minutes that we spend now. Vishak, yours.
Thank you. Yeah. So about the design program, as I think Professor Manindra Agarwal has already talked about, that there are some new initiatives, and in terms of the interdisciplinary program that had happened in last few years, and one of them is the design program. This is a postgraduate interdisciplinary program. It offers both masters in design as well as a PhD in design. And the intakes are both from the GATE score, that is the common engineering entrance test, and also from SEED score. There is a SEED exam which actually checks the design aptitude. And the students are basically from all engineering background as well as architecture. That's one interesting element that comes inside. This particular program has been designed in such a way that we offer courses like a balance of technology as well as ergonomics, human-machine interface, as well as certain courses which are related to social science and business management. So we offer courses related to design theory, design practice, and then ergonomics, and then courses related to the management, design creativity, and also new product development, how to come out with strategies of new product development. And the placement record is fantastic. I think every batch we have an intake of about 25 students, and about 70 to 80% students are directly absorbed in the first week itself. Some students do go for their PhDs, either they do their PhD here or they go for their PhD outside. But it is receiving a very good industrial attention actually in that way, so it is becoming very popular. The other point is that the faculty members, this is an interdisciplinary program, so we do not have faculty members who are only for this particular program. So we have faculty members from all over the institute. Right now we have 12 faculty members. Professor Monindra Agarwal actually is from the computer science, for example. And then there are many other professors from mechanical engineering, from electrical engineering, chemical engineering, humanities and social science, and industrial management. So we have faculty from all such different engineering and other streams. And they take part in terms of teaching, in terms of supervising the students' research. Another interesting thing is that in addition to these faculty members, we are probably one of the first programs who have actually inducted adjunct faculty members from the industry, and also visiting professors who were involved with the industry. For example, H.L. Lucknow General Manager, after retirement he is actually with us for 2 years as visiting professor. So because in this course what we found is that the industrial exposure of the students is very much important. The courses should have that kind of a practical value. So that is why we are inducting in the adjunct faculty members as well as visiting faculty members. In terms of the output, I would say definitely the placement is one good thing. The other good thing is that not only the research publications, but patents are also coming out at a very steady rate. Every year we are getting at least 3 to 4 Indian patents on various different products. Okay? So in fact, if anybody is interested, we have developed a complete CD on this. I can actually send it to you. So this is very briefly about the design program. Thank you.
I have been coming, I'm Rakesh, activity which Professor Harish Verma, Khandekar, they started is basically starting schools for the poorest of the poor. So they are in Barasarohi, Ratanpur, and what they do is they teach the students of IIT Kanpur as well as they hire some teachers and they teach these guys who are the poorest of the poor, and they have also created a lab here, physics lab, where they do the experiment and they can charge their cell phone through the various bicycle or various activities. So if there is any interest, you can see tomorrow. They have a every week they make it. And it is funded by the government of India, so they are not allowing them to release on YouTube. But
the girls' ratio in this program for students.
So they basically it's the 50-50. Actually, the girls.
How many total students there?
They have about, I don't, meaning I hear I have been to Barasaroi, it's about 80 students, 80 to 100.
So they do it at different places.
Yeah, Barasaroi, Ratanpur, and then Nankari. I don't know whether they do Nankari, but I have been here many times. And the children are pretty excited about the education. But they had to hire local faculty because
social responsibility, corporate social CSR kind of activities of the institute. There is all kinds of things going on. So there is no dearth of these what can be essentially called low budget activities, which have certain amount of impact in terms of education, in terms of all kinds of
मलाई मत देना, मक्खन मक्खन जैसा मलाई मत डालना ना ऊपर से।
चले जाओ, मनाली चले जाओ। IIT शिमला, IIT कन्याकुमारी। IIT शिमला हुआ करता था ऊपर हमारे नीचे हुआ था, तो बैठ के नीचे जाके बैठ जाओ।
कौन लोग करते हैं?
मोस्टली सेकंड ईयर वाले फर्स्ट ईयर तो बोला मैंने तो इतना टैलेंटेड था वो, उसको कुछ भी दो करता था। उसको सर्फ का डब्बा दे दिया, तो सर्फ के डब्बे के पीछे का जितना इंस्ट्रक्शन है उसने पूरा गाने में पूरा गा के निकाला। मतलब सर्फ के डब्बे में जो लिखा था
कमाल हो गया। यही दाल बाटी यार, ये तो दो बार लाइन में लगो।
हो गया मैं इनसे हॉस्पिटैलिटी सीखता हूँ यार मैं होटल का हॉस्पिटैलिटी
So what do you do for the hotel? Very good question. I keep asking.
बाहर क्या होते हैं चोखा बैंगन इसके साथ खाते हैं
like I'm responsible
इसके अंदर कुछ फीलिंग भी होगी
in the hotels division
माल की फीलिंग होगी
new
बाकी ये तो प्लेन है अदरवाइज उसमें बाटी लिखा है
नहीं ये रायता है हाँ रायता
बथुआ रहता है
बथुआ मालूम है क्या होता है
नहीं
मेथी का भाई
अच्छा
साउंड हेल्दी है
मेथी का बड़ा भाई छोटा भाई
साउंड हेल्दी ये सब यूपी का
बॉयफ्रेंड की बात कर रहे हैं ये लोग सबकी तरफ से from all of us लिखा हुआ है
कार्ड ओपन कर
गैस करो किसकी चॉइस है हाँ ये गैस करो किसकी चॉइस बात नहीं रहने दो किधर लाया मैंने अब ललिता मैम की प्रैक्टिस कब करेंगी
I did not mean that. टमाटर
तेल बहुत जा रहा है स्टॉप
how the Gymkhana has evolved over the years. A small video will be there for you people just to look at what the students are doing nowadays. After me there will be a small presentation by the SAE group, and after boring you for such a long time, I'll have one of my friends who will be presenting some comedy write-up from his side for you all. So I'm hoping that you all will enjoy that part. So I'll just start on. Residential Council, Science and Technology Council, Cultural Council, Games and Sports Council, and Films and Media Council. All councils have certain clubs under them, and each council is headed by a general secretary, and the president becomes the chief executive of these all. I would just like to highlight some of the few points that we've been able to achieve in the past. There are students who've been, for example, I'll just take example from each and every council once. In FMC, I would like to highlight that we have everything starting from animation to design to post to journalism. We also have our own radio station right now, which is running at 90.4 frequency. We have dance club, dramatics club, fine arts club. There have been students who never in their whole life have danced, but I myself have been a part of the dance club, and after 1 week of training, all done by my seniors given by my seniors to me, I was also standing on my head. So these kind of b-boying, hip-hop, contemporary, or whatever you can think of, all these are taught in the dance club. Similar things can be seen in dramatics like mime, English play, Hindi plays, Nukkad. We've been on the streets of Kanpur as well, and one of our Nukkads known as Sab Chalta Hai has been very famous among the students. When I talk about Presidential Council, I take a huge pride. Firstly, because I head the very same council. Secondly, because I have certain clubs in that, namely Prayas, where we, the students of IIT Kanpur, teach nearly 200 underprivileged students, starting from class nursery to 12th. We help them in educating them. We also try and meet their parents by introducing them to the concept of education and telling them that, see, this is very important, you shouldn't just waste the time of your kids. At the same time, we have something known as GE3. This is Group for Environment and Energy Engineering. This focuses mainly towards improving the overall environment of the campus. We are also working with a group of our students known as SIFE. These people are making paper recycling plants within the campus. The idea is that we can develop sustainable employment for the underprivileged section. We teach them how to recycle paper, create handicraft, recycle paper in itself, and then how to market it as well. So these are some things about the Presidential Council. For Sports Council, we have our own artificial wall for wall climbing in the New Sac area. If you had some time, I will surely want you all to visit the New Sac area, the Student Activity Center. I'm pretty sure that there are many things that will surprise you there, especially if you see the paintings, the sketches in the Fine Arts Club, to the wall, that artificial wall climbing thing that is, we have a food court is there, the sports facility, everything will surely amaze you. If I talk about SciTech Council, I'll just speak about something which interests me most. Most of you must have seen those Rubik's Cube which are there. We have students who can solve those Rubik's Cube with one single hand, with blindfolded, within 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Not just 3x3, it's 5x5, 4x4, and so on and so forth. So such kind of things are also being taught. We have, as you'll see in the video later, there are many amazing things, robots to circuits to program softwares, which have been made by the students, totally being guided by the students only. So this is essentially what we thought are the main, the pursuit of knowledge is actually the main agenda for any student in this campus. But we believe that by having a classroom, outside classroom, we are able to provide a personality development as well. So just let me
looking at them through the eyes of our pioneer batch. When these students first landed at Kanpur Central, they were taken to a Government Central Textile Institute's hostel in Gualatoy, in a little blue truck driven by Shishupal, one of the most colourful characters on campus, who later played a pivotal role in the establishment of the student Gymkhana. The hostel in GCTI housed these students till they moved to the current campus in March 1963. The new campus, away from the city, gave them an opportunity to explore other avenues of recreation. One of the first developments in the campus was the establishment of the Film Society, to screen films in the campus. With tremendous support from the faculty, the students began working towards developing a path for learning, growth, and introspection. Soon, various cultural and sporting activities were introduced by the faculty and organized on a regular basis thereafter in the campus. This in turn led to the establishment of the Students' Gymkhana, with the then Deputy Director, Dr. M.S. Muthanna, as the first president, and the student of a pioneer batch, Ranjak Prasad, as its first vice president. The Gymkhana was given the sole responsibility of organizing all the extracurricular activities in the campus. With the growth in strength and experience of the student community, the structure of the Gymkhana gradually changed to allow student representation in various committees, and Gymkhana began contributing to the decision making pertaining to the aspects of the campus, ranging from the extracurricular for the courses to the design of the buildings.
Of our student Gymkhana. We've been given big money and we are trying to use it in the in the best possible manner that we can. We recently had the starting from horse riding to traffic rejuvenation to many other things that we can think of. We've been also, as you can see in one of the pictures, there are some comedians who came to IIT Kanpur. I'm being told that this is the very first time that a laughter show was organized in IIT Kanpur. So we had comedians like Sunil Pal, Raja Rancho, Irfan Malik and so on with us. These are some of the points that we are now focusing upon so that in the coming years we can develop to the fullest and we can strive to be as best as possible. At this point of time, I would also like to tell you some of the problems that we are facing. The two major concerns that bothers us the most are, one is placement. I'm pretty sure that the strength has gone manifolds because probably, I guess, 200 or something will be your batch size when you people came here. Today, the undergraduate batch size which is coming is 840 and similar is for the postgraduates as well. We have near about 6,000 students residing in our campus and around 1,100-1,200 students who sit for placements. Though the brand name helps, though everything helps, but the placement scenarios are not good. Even till this time, nearly 60% of the students are placed, and there's a good enough possibility that there will be students who won't be placed as well. The second thing which is bothering us a lot is the concept of termination. Just 2 days back, we had the meeting in which some of the students were terminated from their programs. They had to leave IIT Kanpur. And a similar alarming situation comes when there are backlogs with the students and their degree gets extended. These are some of the things that I just wanted to share with you people because you've been a part of it. Maybe we can get some good recommendations from you. So I wouldn't take much of a time. These are our details. If any time any of you have something to share with us, we'll be more than welcoming on this hand. Thank you very much. I will now request. Are not able to pass 50% of their total credits, then their program stands terminated. Once it's terminated, they can appeal to the chairman senate, that is the director sir, and it will be discussed in the senate. If the reason is found to be genuine enough, they are reinstated. But just to quote some numbers, in the very last meeting, somewhere close to 30 odd students might have been terminated. So this keeps on happening every year, And if I talk about the degree extended students, that is those who have backlogs and so on and so forth, I might not be able to give you a very correct number, but it will be as big as probably 1500 or 2000 as well.
1500?
Maybe. So, I mean, I can tell you that there have been cases where just for one course the student has to stay back, and the courses were not floated just because some rules were not allowing them, or the system was rigid enough. So we are facing that kind of problem. We are in process of discussing these things. Maybe some inputs, you people, if you have some, so you can give us, but yeah, we are facing that kind of problem.
Good evening, everyone. As our president just right now pointed out that we tried to build a classroom just outside the classroom. So this was one of the initiatives taken back in January 2010. We aim to build better engineers through practical and hands-on experiences. SAE IIT Kanpur was set up as a chapter of SAE India, that is Society of Automobile Engineering, in January 2011. It consists of automobile enthusiasts among us who are passionate about building their own car, who are passionate about taking their knowledge outside the class. So it has a strong urge to complement the theoretic knowledge that they have learned in the class and to apply to the real sciences and to face the real life problems in building a car. So SAE IIT Kanpur, as it was set up, it consisted of 3 major events. One was Epicycle, second was Nitrox events, third was Formula SAE. Epicycle was one of the initiatives that was taken back by SAE India chapter. It basically aims in building a tripod which can be manufactured by which can be run by electrical and human powered drive. As engineers, as nowadays we all see about green technology. We learn about green. We have to go green. We have to do something for the environment. We all read. We all share posters. We all think about it. But as engineers, what should we do? So this was one of the initiatives that was taken by SAE India, where we have to build a tripod that will be run by that can be run by human power. So it can be thought of it can be set up as a foundation which will in future will serve as a means to conserve fuel and to means as a green transport, to provide a green transport. So it encourages engineering students to set up a trend of using eco-friendly vehicles. As a part of this, we as SAE IIT Kanpur, we take part in this initiative. So this year we will be participating in this context. Second one is Nitrox. Nitrox aims in fabricating a miniature remote controlled vehicle powered by an IC engine. This last year this was one of the cars. We built this car and we participated in a competition that is TechFest in IIT Bombay. This year we have introduced this competition in our Tekriti and would be taking part in that as well. This is our team and we organize various activities throughout the year to keep the momentum going and to encourage new people who share the same enthusiasm and passion to join us. Intra-Hall Science and Technology Festival that happens in IIT Kanpur. So unfortunately the video is not playing. The other one is we take a part in Formula SAE. Formula SAE is basically as if we are there's a fictional manufacturing. We are a fictional manufacturing industry, and we are given the task to manufacture a Formula SAE car, and that we take part in countries outside India. So here we simulate real world engineering design projects and developing and building a small Formula style race car. In here, teams from all over the world compete in this, and it consists of very static and dynamic events.
The Formula SAE, what he was talking about, is one of the biggest projects that has been started in recent years. The motive of the event is that being a student group and with the present technology going on, we need to design a Formula 1 type car, a single person driving a car, and the incentive is that you get to race with the different colleges across the world. There are competitions being organized in 7 different countries, and 80 or 90 teams from different universities, good universities such as MITs and other, which have been participating since last 30 years, come there and you can get the experience. This is our first year of participating in Formula SA event. We will be starting our journey with Formula SA Hungary in 2013, August. This is the first event, and we have been designing the vehicle, and the manufacturing phase has started with the vehicle, and this is one of the initiatives. The previous initiatives that we talk about, Nitrox and the FE cycle, the projects are completed, and now we have moved into the next phase, setting up the new teams so that we can further improve on each and every vehicle that we have been making. This is a prototype. This is a prototype of the vehicle that has been made. The manufacturing process has been started for this vehicle, and the vehicle doesn't include the tires and everything, so we'll incorporate that. This is there's a student group of 30 students that has been working on this project since last 1.5 years, and we plan to complete it in the next 6 months. This is actually the competition doesn't include just making anything and participating in the conference. We have to look forward into many aspects such as ergonomics, and the aesthetics as well. Is the vehicle compatible enough for drivers? This vehicle can be used? The major thing about this competition is that you are a couple manufacturer and you have to design the vehicle for some market. We have chosen a market as India. We have chosen the engine as Royal Enfield because this is the engine which is easily available in an Indian environment. And we are manufacturing a vehicle, we are designing a vehicle for Indian enthusiasts who want a cheap racing car for their weekend racing. In the big cities like Delhi, Bombay, there are many people that want such cars. So we are building a facility over here. Like we told that we will be starting our venture with Formula Student Hungary in 2013.
So this all looks good, but there are various problems that we face when we try to build a car. One of them is technical knowledge and guidance. Some of the things that we want and some of the things that we need while making a car, technical guidance, are not available in our academic circle. So it would be grateful if you could share your experiences and share your guidance, and so that we can have the dream come true. And adopting parts, there are many parts that are not available in India. For example, if you talk about our brakes, we talk about our batteries. So in that case, we have to reach out to various places outside India, and it becomes a very cumbersome process for us. And third is industry contacts. There are many manufacturing processes that we require, such as machining, that are not actually very easily available in Kanpur, or we call it as local areas. So it would be grateful if you could guide us to the right people, and we can therefore build a car to race it. The contribution to our project will go a long way in creating a future talent. So if you are interested, please welcome and be a part of our team. Thank you.
So, hello, I am Ayush Jain. I am 4th year undergraduate student from MME department, and I was the dramatics club coordinator. तो ये था मेरे बारे में रिज्यूमे खोल रहा था अपना, क्योंकि अभी तक जॉब लगी नहीं है, तो सोच रहा था आप में से कोई दे दे, तो वही तलाश रहा था, देखते हैं। तो मैं बढ़िया आदमी हूँ। अब पापा समझाते रहते हैं, पापा जी को मैं सांत्वना देता रहता हूँ, वो मुझे देते रहते हैं, बेटा नौकरी तो लगी जाएगी, देखते हैं, कुछ नहीं लगी तो अपन तो बढ़िया आदमी किराने की दुकान लगा के कमा के खा लेंगे। पर ये एक दिन उन्होंने कहा, अगले दिन अखबार में आ गया कि FDI इन डिटेल। अब तभी से अब देख रहे हैं, नौकरी ढूंढ रहे हैं, कभी लगती है क्या। अब एक बात पूछ सकता हूँ, आपके बैच में लड़कियाँ कितनी थी? जीरो। मतलब वही बता रहा हूँ, वही लड़कियों। पर तब सिर्फ छोकरी की दिक्कत होती है, अभी नौकरी की भी दिक्कत है, तो काफी दिक्कतें चल रही है।
अब कितने हैं?
अब 70 है, 10%। ठीक है।
रिक्रूटमेंट में अभी 33%। हाँ। रिक्रूटमेंट में अभी 33% है। हाँ।
तो इसी पे एक छोटी सी कविता है कि ये तो आपको पता ही है कि IIT में लड़कियां चंद हैं, और कुछ लोग कहते हैं ये जैसे, कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि सारी गंदे, मतलब उतनी अच्छी नहीं लगती लोगों को। तो ये तो आपको बताइए कि IIT में लड़कियां चंद हैं और कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि सारी गंदे। मैंने प्रत्युत्तर में कहा अबे यार ये अच्छी है, तो बोला कि छोड़ यार ये बच्ची है, मतलब जूनियर थी, तो बोला छोड़ यार ये बच्ची है। तब मैं बोला अबे सीनियर आंटी, जूनियर बच्ची और साथ वाली गंद है, बेटा ऐसी ही सोच रही तो बंदी मिलने के चांस बड़े मंद है। तो उलझन में था क्या करूं, सुझाव मिला साधु बन तपस्या कर। मैंने कहा तपस्या कठिन है, क्या पूरी हो पाएगी? वो बोला पूरी हुई तो ठीक, वरना भंग करने में इनका तो आई जाएगी। गाड़ी उठा के निकलती है तपस्या करने रामलीला मैदान में भूखे पेट। आपको पता चल गया तपस्या करने वहां लोग क्यों जाते हैं भूखे पेट, तो वहां पे हम भी गए तपस्या करने। मेनका को तो हमारी तपस्या के बारे में किसी ने नहीं बताया, पर उनकी जेठानी को इस बात पे बड़ा गुस्सा आया। मेनका की जेठानी आप समझ गए हमें देश को चला रही है। मेनका को हमारी तपस्या के बारे में किसी ने नहीं बताया, पर उनकी जेठानी को इस बात पे बड़ा गुस्सा आया। कुछ खाकी गुंडों को भेजकर हमें तपस्या के बीच से ही उठा लिया। पर एक बात है, इस तपस्या ने हमें सलवार सूट पहनना सिखा दिया। तो ये है कि यहाँ पे सब लोग परेशान हैं। आप कोशिश की पर टूट जाए दिल मोहब्बत पीर ऐसी है, टूट जाए दिल मोहब्बत पीर ऐसी है, और हैरान हो आयुष तेरी तकदीर ऐसी है। और होठों पे हंसी दिले गमगीन बैठा है, कुछ नहीं मिला अभी तक। होठों पे हंसी दिले गमगीन बैठा है, सब कुछ है मगर हालत फकीर जैसी है। ये वन इसमें फूल खिलेगा, और हमको है मालूम हमें कोई न मिलेगा, और हमको है मालूम हमें कोई न मिलेगा। कि हूर है जहां में तो भाई नूर हम भी हैं, हूर है जहां में तो भाई नूर हम भी हैं। फितरत ही है ऐसी हमें कोई न मिलेगा, फितरत ही है ऐसी हमें कोई न मिलेगा। और किसी को पाने की कोशिश है हजार की, किसी को क्या, किसी को भी पाने की कोशिश है, किसी को भी पाने की कोशिश है हजार की। इसमें हमने अपनी जवानी गुजार दी, जो भी मिली उसने हमसे फिर यही कहा, अच्छे तो हो मगर तुम्हें कोई न मिलेगा, अच्छे तो हो। परी आई और इजहार कर गई, हार के जो बैठे थे झुका के अपना सर। एक परी आई और इजहार कर गई, उसने कहा हमसे तुमसे प्यार है सनम। हमने कहा कटो हमें कोई न मिलेगा, हमने कहा कटो हमें कोई न मिलेगा। तो ये थी एक, आपने कभी किसी को चाहा होगा उस टाइम पे भी, यहाँ तो नहीं थी पर आसपास कोई तो कॉलेज होगा, HPTI उस टाइम था जो भी था। तो एक गजल लिखने की कोशिश की थी मैंने, पर 2 ही लाइन लिख पाया था, तो वही आपको सुनाता हूँ। कि यहाँ पे लड़कियां जो बहुत भाव खाती हैं, तो उसी पे था। तुम्हें तो लगता है दिल खिलौना, मगर खिलौने पे आज मर लो। तुम्हें तो लगता है दिल खिलौना, मगर खिलौने पे आज मर लो। कि बदल न जाए दिल की ख्वाहिश, बदल न जाए दिल की ख्वाहिश, सनम मुझको ही प्यार कर लो। तुम्हें तो लगता है दिल खिलौना, कि न जाने परवाने तुझ पे कितने क्षमा समझ कर के जल चुके हैं। कि न जाने परवाने तुझ पे कितने क्षमा समझ कर के जल चुके हैं। नहीं जलेंगे अब और कोई, मुझी को बाहों में अपनी भर लो। तुम्हें तो लगता है। और तो इसी रेस्पिरेशन पे एक और कविता लिखी थी आगे। हाँ, कि दिख जाए वो तो धड़कन बढ़ जाती है, दिल क्या करे बेचारा बेबस है। और चलते चलते ही आंख लड़ जाती है, नजर क्या करे बेचारी बेबस है। और नींद में भी बस वही तो दिखती है, सपने क्या करें बेचारे बेबस हैं। और ये कविताएं भी तो वही लिखती है, कलम क्या करे बेचारी बेबस है। और आग जो सीने में लगी है बुझाऊं कैसे, पानी क्या करे बेचारा बेबस है। और छा जाती है सब और वो चांदनी जैसे, चांद क्या करे बेचारा बेबस है। और उसके आने की खुशबू से महक उठता है समा, फूल क्या करें बेचारे बेबस हैं। और वो मिल जाए तो मिल जाए ये जहां, पर तकदीर क्या करे बेचारी बेबस है। आ जाए दिल किसी पे क्या हमारा वश है, क्या करे आयुष बेचारा बेबस है। तो अब ये तो अभी डेस्परेशन वाली कविताएं थारी। अब एक आपको सुना देता हूँ जो कि मैं काफ़ी बार सुना चुका हूँ कैंपस में, पर एक बार आपको भी वो सुना देता हूँ कि एक सिचुएशन है कि एक हलवाई की दुकान थी, वहाँ पर एक जलेबी रखी हुई है और उस पर कुछ मक्खियाँ भिनभिना रही थी। तो उसको देखा कुछ कवियों ने, कुछ कवि निकल रहे थे, तो उनने देखा और उनने अपनी अपनी कविताएं उस पर लिखी। तो वो मैंने लिखने का प्रयास किया है कि उनने क्या क्या लिखा होगा। कुमार विश्वास एक कवि है हिंदुस्तान के, काफी जाने वाले हैं। उनने लिखा कि जैसे फूल हृदय का कभी मुरझा नहीं सकता, जो लाछन है चरित पे तो कभी वो जा नहीं सकता, जो रिश्ता है ये पावन सा जलेबी का यो मक्खी से। और अगली पंक्ति पर चेतावनी दे रहा है हलवाई को कुमार विश्वास कि जो रिश्ता है ये पावन सा जलेबी का यो मक्खी से, तू मिट जाएगा धरती से इसे मिटवा नहीं सकता। अब इसके बाद है एक वीर रस के कवि। वीर रस के कवियों की क्या आदत होती है कि हर चीज में उनको हिंदुस्तान पाकिस्तान करना होता है। यहाँ भी उन्होंने वही किया कि लोभी कपटी चतुर दरिंदा हलवाई ये भी सुन ले कि मक्खी को मारा तो फांसी का फंदा भी तू चुन ले, कि मक्खी का अधिकार है जलेबी पे भिनभिनाने का। और अगली पंक्ति पर आपके रगों में दौड़ता खून खोल न उठे तो मेरा नाम बता देना कि मक्खी का अधिकार है जलेबी पे भिनभिनाने का, कि हिंदुस्तान का हक है जैसे पाक को मार गिराने का, हिंदुस्तान का हक है जैसे पाक। अब इसके बाद वहां से हरिवंश राय बच्चन गुजर रहे थे, तो उनने भी अपनी मधुशाला की वो पंक्तियां ऐड करते रहते थे, तो उनने कुछ यहाँ पर भी जोड़ दी कि मक्खी को तू आज जलेबी इतना बनाना मत वाला, कि तू तो टेढ़ी मेढ़ी है मक्खी तो है सीधी बाला, अब हलवाई तू ही कुछ कर ले वरना पछताएगा, जब और मक्खियां आएगी बन जाएगी ये मधुशाला। अब जलेबी कह रही है कि मैं तो रस में डूबी हूँ और मीठेपन से भरी हुई, कि मक्खी के काले सायों से मैं हूँ बिल्कुल डरी हुई, कि मैं भारत माँ की बेटी ये मक्खी रूपी नेता है, मैं भारत माँ की बेटी ये मक्खी रूपी नेता है, और ये हलवाई नहीं है ये तो भारत का विक्रेता है, ये हलवाई नहीं है ये तो भारत का। इसके बाद एक कवित्री आई जिनने की प्रेम रस की कविता लिखती है कवित्री आदित्य, तो हमने यहाँ पर भी वही लिखा कि मक्खी कह रही है जलेबी से कि तेरा मीठा स्वाद जलेबी जीभ को मेरे भाया है, कि तेरे सिवा प्रिय 7 दिनों से किसी पे मुंह न लगाया है, कि तेरा मीठा स्वाद जलेबी जीभ को मेरे भाया है, तेरे सिवा प्रिय 7 दिनों से किसी पे मुंह न लगाया है। ओ हलवाई की फिक्र नहीं मुझे रस में तेरे डूबी हूँ, तेरी खातिर सखियों को भी लड्डू पे बिठवाया। ये थी मेरी कुछ कविता। धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत
वेरी गुड।
And the curriculum of IITK, you've got a bit of idea, okay, what takes place and what goes on here, okay. So if you guys want to give us any suggestion, like any experience you want to share with the students, that you can do. And before, like after that, like if you have any questions about the institute or about anything that you have heard and any doubts, so that you can ask the students and you can interact with them.
Does anyone know the age that when the mind grows 100%? Come. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Never.
It's 5 years. 1-year-old can learn Hindi, Chinese, and you will take 20 years to learn Chinese. Okay? And the human body, how much time does it take to grow? What is the soul or what is Atma? Anybody? Any thoughts? Okay. Yeah. Atman is your soch, your thought process. Alright? And your thought process is dictated by your society, your parentage, your town, your education, your friends, your work experience, and you are unique in the world. There is nobody like you. Am I correct? Nobody has ever been born like you, and nobody will ever be born like you. You are immortal. That is why they say soul is immortal. Any questions on this? Thank you. Let me tell you. The last line let me just tell you. Now you have to use your mind and your soch to strengthen your body. And also, Gita is soch, vichar, chintan, manan and karam. The difference between you and us is, you will think about going to a movie, सोच आई और तुरंत चले गए. हम सोचेंगे भाई आज जाए कल जाए. Is it proper if we go today? Thank you.
The IIT brand, the way it is today, it wasn't like that the other day. I was telling one of my friends, in a bit of nostalgia, that when I was coming to IIT Kanpur, it was pretty far from home. So one old lady asked me, "Arey beta, yahan to bagal mein IIT hai, wahan kyun ja rahe ho?" So I decided not to explain because it's, so that's the way the world was. So today you have, you have a lot of information, you have a lot of choices also. At the same time, challenges, like you guys are saying that your batch strength has grown tremendously and the placement has become an issue. Now one thought maybe you can tell your faculty, XLRI for instance, you might have heard of XLRI, all of you would have. So they have a problem with their executive MBA, the guys who have done 4 years and then but they had at least a few years back, and what they did was, they used to have the place